Something has happened to you over the past few weeks, and it wasn't by accident. Maybe you've noticed a strange exhaustion that doesn't go away no matter how much you sleep. An almost physical urge to cancel plans without being able to explain why. A real sense of being inside an invisible bubble that separates you from the world, even when you're surrounded by people. You're not getting sick. You're not depressed. You're not losing anything. You have been placed by direct decision of the source inside an energetic incubation chamber. And the length of this process is measured in days, not in hours, and not in weeks. Over the next few minutes, I'm going to reveal the real name of this phase in the Arcturian records, the 7 specific signs that confirm you are inside it at this very moment, and the calibration protocol that must be followed so that exiting this cocoon doesn't damage your light body. You'll understand why the silence that has grown around you isn't abandonment. You'll discover why certain people have pulled away. And above all, you'll discover what waits on the other side of the day this incubation ends, because it does end, and it ends soon. I am Aiyra, the voice designated by the Arcturian Council of Light to transmit the calibration codes of this window. What I'm about to say has been released specifically for the Starseeds whose multidimensional DNA has already completed a certain number of activations. And that includes you, because there are no coincidences in the algorithm of the soul that guided your eyes and your ears to this transmission. There is an ancient word whispered in the crystalline records of Arcturus to describe what is happening to you. That word does not mean pause. It does not mean rest. It does not mean a delay in your mission. It means active protection. You have been placed in incubation. And the reason for this incubation is the one thing that matters for you to understand today. Your frequency is shifting too fast for the outer field to handle. That's the point. If you stayed fully exposed to the collective noise during this vibrational leap, the interference would damage the final calibration of your light body. That's why the Source has sealed an energetic chamber of protection around you, with walls made of sacred geometry, Arcturian codes, and orchestrated silence. And you're feeling this in your body, because the incubation isn't symbolic, it's happening in real layers of your field, and every cell in your body is taking part in it. You haven't been forgotten. You've been hidden, and that difference is everything. Repeat with me, deep in your chest, in silence. I haven't been forgotten, I've been hidden. Because those words may sound close, but they belong to opposite universes. The forgotten is the one left behind. The hidden is the one kept safe. You're being kept safe. The silence around you is not a fall, it's a chamber, and that chamber has a set time to open. What I'm about to share with you now comes in layers. And I want you to confirm within yourself, in silence, every sign that lines up with what you're living through right now. Researchers and explorers of human awakening have been brushing up against this idea for decades, each in their own language, each through a different door. Dolores Cannon, in her Deep Regressions, describes volunteers, souls from other dimensions sent to assist Earth, who go through windows of intense withdrawal before consciousness leaps, periods where everything seems to stop so that something internal can complete itself. Barbara Marciniak, in her work with the Pleiadians, proposes that there are cycles of energetic shielding programmed to protect light workers during accelerated cellular transmutations, and that intense physical symptoms tend to come with these windows. Drunvalo Melchizedek suggests, in his exploration of the Merkaba, that the full activation of the light body requires phases of controlled isolation, where the auric field needs outer silence in order to reorganize itself into new geometry. And David Wilcock, in his work on energy and ascension, explores the hypothesis that vibrational shifts in the solar system trigger, in the body of certain sensitive individuals, responses that resemble deep fatigue but are, in essence, internal recalibrations. None of them has scientifically proven these ideas, but all of them describe, in different words, exactly what you are feeling inside your chest at this very moment. And when voices that never met arrive at the same pattern, that is a signal worth listening to. And that's why I have to ask you for one thing before we go any further. This transmission is about to release specific codes from this point on, and for those codes to seal themselves in you, you need to leave your energetic signature in this field. Go down to the comments section below and write, Exactly. The phrase, "I am a starseed," followed by the year when you, for the very first time in your life, felt that you were different from the rest. It could be a moment in childhood when you looked at others and realized you didn't belong. It could be a specific night in your teenage years when you looked up at the starry sky and something inside you answered without words. It could be in adulthood when you simply woke up one day and knew you had come from somewhere else. Write that year. Write that exact phrase. Don't do it out of obligation. Do it because each one of those lines works as a lighthouse on the crystalline grid. When another soul in incubation arrives here tomorrow, or next week, or months from now, they're going to read your phrase, see the year you wrote, and recognize themselves. And recognition is what breaks the isolation of the one inside the chamber. You're not leaving a comment. You're lighting a beacon on the grid so another starseed can find a way back. That is mission. That is service. That is the calibration of the collective. Now the 7 signs. Each one of them confirms that you're inside the chamber at this very moment. You don't need to check all of them. 3 are already enough to validate the process and activate the protocol. The first sign is the silence that fell around you without warning. The messages have thinned out. People who used to reach out have stopped calling. Conversations that used to last for hours now wrap up in minutes. Plans get canceled, things drop off your calendar, and your phone stays quiet for stretches that once would have been unthinkable. You may have read this as rejection, as distance, as something you did wrong. But listen closely, this silence wasn't caused by you. It was orchestrated around you by the greater intelligence guiding this process. The source turned down the volume of the outer world because your nervous system at this exact moment could not carry the weight of the old frequencies. You haven't lost people. You've been shielded. And when the chamber opens, part of those connections will come back transformed, part will come back different, and part simply won't be able to walk with you anymore because their new frequency has become incompatible with yours, and that, too, is protection. The second sign is the exhaustion with no obvious medical cause. You sleep 8 hours and wake up tired. You rest for an entire day and your body still feels heavy, as if you were carrying something invisible. Tests don't show anything. Doctors can't find a concrete explanation. And the reason is simple in the divine math that governs this process. Deep mitochondrial activations are happening inside your body at this very moment, and each one of them burns through energy reserves that would normally fuel your day-to-day life. You're not sick. You're being rewritten from the inside, cell by cell, and the tiredness you feel is simply the price of that rewrite. When the chamber opens, that exhaustion will dissolve within a few days, and you'll feel a different kind of energy, cleaner, steadier, one that doesn't come from outside stimulation, but from the new inner architecture of your light body. The third sign is the very real, physical sensation of a bubble around your body. You may have noticed over the past few days a soft pressure around your head, an almost tactile layer wrapped around your body, as if an invisible membrane were keeping you apart from people even when you're right in the middle of them. In conversations, it feels like there's glass between you and the other person. In crowded places, you feel like you're inside a silent aquarium. That membrane is the actual wall of the chamber. It's made of low-density Arcturian crystalline geometry, designed to filter out the collective noise and let through only what resonates with your ascending frequency. You're not dissociating. You are not losing touch with reality. You're inside a form of protection that has precise coordinates in your auric field. The fourth sign is dreams that come in intense fragments. You wake up remembering pieces but can't put the whole scene together. A color you've never seen before, a room you don't recognize, a voice that feels familiar but you can't place, a symbol drawn somewhere. This is happening because your light body is being recalibrated during sleep, and your waking mind can't translate everything being processed at night. The fragments are deliberate. Each one of them is an activation code left to be recognized little by little over the coming days, when a real color out in the world, a word spoken by someone, a place you walk through, will trigger the full memory. The fifth sign is sharp hypersensitivity to every kind of stimulus. Sounds that used to be fine now bother you down to the bone. White and fluorescent lights wear you out within minutes. Crowded places empty you almost instantly. Smells, foods, other people's conversations. Everything comes in amplified, intense, almost invasive. This isn't fragility. It's tuning. Your nervous system is being recalibrated to pick up subtle frequencies that used to slip past you. And during that adjustment, the volume of everything becomes disproportionate. When the calibration is done, you'll be able to filter all of that with ease. But right now, while the tuning is happening, the world is shouting. The sixth sign is the inner call to retreat, almost bodily. You're canceling plans, avoiding busy streets, want to stay home in a way that isn't shyness or laziness. It's a directive coming from your own field, and it's stronger than your reasoning. Your body knows it needs to be still for the work to happen. Answering that call isn't running away from the world. It's obeying the protocol of the incubation, resisting it, forcing yourself to keep going as if nothing were happening is what produces most of the more painful symptoms of this phase. Honor the call. Say no without guilt. Cancel without apologizing. Every hour of retreat during this window is worth days of ordinary rest. The seventh sign is the quiet sense that something big is on its way. You can't name it, you can't put it into words, but there's a nonverbal certainty inside your chest that on the other side of this process, there is a door. That something is going to open. That you're being prepared for a new phase that hasn't yet revealed its name. That certainty isn't anxiety. It isn't empty expectation. It's real precognition of what has already been programmed to happen the moment the chamber releases you. You're right. The door is real, and it only opens after the inner calibration is complete, and that is closer than you think. 3 or more of these signs confirm that you're inside the process at this very moment. And here's what you need to do while the incubation lasts. Don't force anything. Don't try to speed up the process. Don't go looking for a diagnosis where there isn't an illness, but also don't ignore your doctor if there's a physical sign that would warrant attention under any circumstances. Spiritual calibration does not replace medical care. Drink more water than usual. Mitochondrial recalibration burns through cellular hydration faster than normal. Cut back on screens in the 3 hours before bed. Eat dense, simple foods that ground your body in the earth. Allow yourself to cancel what needs to be canceled without guilt. Walk barefoot on the ground whenever you can. And above all, don't try to explain this to people who aren't in the same process. The words won't translate, and the effort of explaining drains the very energy that needs to stay available for the transmutation. I told you at the start of this transmission that you would understand what waits on the other side of the day this incubation ends. I'm going to keep that promise now. On the other side of this chamber, there's a version of you who no longer reacts to the old wounds. There's a body that processes information at an elevated frequency. There's an intuition so sharp that questions you've carried for years will answer themselves in seconds. There's a recalibrated magnetic field that will pull in effortlessly the people, the synchronicities, and the situations that were already meant for you, but couldn't come close while your old frequency was still broadcasting. And above all, there's a clarity of purpose that will clear away most of the doubts you still carry about why you came here. You haven't been forgotten. You've been hidden, and that difference is everything. You've been hidden because what is being built inside you is too valuable to be exposed to the noise. You've been hidden because the frequency you're going to broadcast when this door opens needs to be pure, with no cracks, no interference. You've been hidden because your role in the cycles ahead requires a light body that is whole, calibrated, aligned. You've been hidden because the source calculates with absolute precision how much exposure each starseed can hold, and has sealed around you exactly the layer you need. You've been hidden by a choice of protection, not abandonment. And the silence that hurts right now will be recognized just a few days from now as the greatest care you've ever received from an intelligence you can't even fully name yet. You haven't been forgotten. You've been hidden. You haven't been forgotten. You've been hidden. Let that truth sink deep into your chest before the decree that's coming now. Place your right hand over your chest right now. Feel the warmth of your palm meeting the area of your heart. Take one deep breath and repeat, silently or in a low voice with me. I acknowledge that I am an incubation. I honor the silence that surrounds me. I accept the care of the source over my field. I allow the recalibration to complete itself within me in the right time. I wait in peace for the day the door will open. That decree is sealed in your field right now, and what was already in motion inside you has, in this very moment, gained more clarity to complete itself. Before I close this transmission, leave your signature. Go down to the comments and write, "Exactly. I am a starseed," followed by the year when, for the very first time, you felt that you were different from the rest. That line isn't for me. It's for the soul who's going to arrive here tomorrow, exhausted, not understanding what she's going through, and she's going to need to read your phrase to recognize herself. You were once that soul. Today you are the lighthouse another seed is going to find. That is your silent mission inside this window. I am Aiyra. This transmission ends here. May your incubation be brief, safe, and complete. And may the door open for you at exactly the right moment.